Hey everybody, this is Mr. Smith with your assignment video for the week. So this week's assignment is focused on culture and exploring what culture means. So culture is a term that I'm sure all of you have heard, but sometimes can be a little difficult to define. And that's partly because culture covers so many different things. The definition of culture is just a way of life or a way of doing things that is shared by a group of people. And you can see right from that definition how broad of a term culture is. It's just a way of life or a way of doing things. That means it's basically anything that people do or even people believe that is shared by a group of people. And that group of people can be any size. So it can be as small as like 2 or 3 people can create a culture together. So, in practicality, what are we talking about when we talk about culture? We're talking about things like the languages that people speak, the rituals, so holidays and celebrations and birthdays and things like that that they engage in, the food that they eat, the art that they watch and listen to and consume, the clothing that they wear, the buildings that they live in, the way that they travel around in their lives, the manners and rules of politeness that they follow throughout their life, and more sort of amorphous things like how is their family structured and what things do their family believe in? What are their family values? What are the things that they care about and that they think are important? All of those are parts of culture. And culture both includes physical objects, so things like my shirt. That's an example of Western culture. I'm wearing a sort of Western style dress shirt today. And this house that I'm in right now, that would be an example of culture as well. It's a mid-Atlantic style house. And it also includes things that we do, so holidays. So many of you just last week celebrated a holiday. That would be an example of culture. Transportation, so the fact that, in the United States, most of us own and drive cars. That's an example of culture as well. But it also includes things that are not physical, that you can't see, things that we think and believe. So in that, we're thinking about like your religious beliefs, and how much you care about family connections and family ties. And we're also talking about small things like, do you believe in, keeping your elbows off the table while you eat dinner? Or, do you feel like you always have to say please whenever you ask for something? Those are all examples of culture. And if you look at the directions for this assignment, there are some more examples given there. There's some couple charts that give you some examples of sort of topics and subjects that culture or that are included when we think about the term culture. But the important thing to remember that it is simply a way of doing things, a way of believing, a way of life that is shared by people. And that can be a huge group like the entire world. It can be, a country like the United States. It can be a state like Maryland. It can be a region like Montgomery County. It could be, as small as your family or even your friend group, or even just you and your best friend have a friend culture that you've created together. So culture covers a lot of things. And what your assignment is for this week is to explore your own personal culture. And to do that, you're going to open the Google Slides template that is at the bottom of this assignment. And when you open that up, it will have some questions for you. And on each slide, you're going to answer that question. And on some of the slides, it's also going to ask you to include an image. So the basic way you're going to attack this is look at the slide, and anything you see in red, you need to replace with your own work. So it'll have a question in black, and then it'll say in red, answer, and that's where you're going to answer, either in bullet points if it gives you bullet points, or in a complete sentence paragraph if it doesn't. And then if it says image in red somewhere on the page, you need to put an image there as well. And if you're confused about any of that, I encourage you to look at the exemplar that is linked in with these directions. And that's the example of me completing this assignment. And if you have any questions, as always, email me anytime or drop into office hours to get some help. All right, so good luck with that. Have fun exploring your own cultures. I'm really, really, really excited to read this assignment. I'm really looking forward to hearing about all of your own personal and family cultures.